On that night in 473 BCE, the state of Wu fell. That night, all of Yue celebrated its victory. King Gujian was preparing to reward his greatest ministers. But that very night, Fanli, his greatest contributor, vanished. He packed gold, silver, jade, and jewels, then boarded a small boat. He rode into the night on Taihu Lake and never looked back. Why would a man at the peak of power flee overnight? He was not saving his reputation. He was saving his life. 3 times he became the richest man in the land. 3 times he gave it all away himself. By the end, you will understand. He was not merely trading, he was steering cycles. The story begins with a madman in Wan of Chu, 2,500 years ago. He was a village commoner of humble birth, so poor, he could barely clothe himself. His vision was too far ahead. No one understood him. The villagers called him mad. In an age of hereditary aristocracy, a commoner had no chance of rising. That village madman was named Fanli. The only man who recognized his talent was the local magistrate, Wen Zong. They immediately understood each other and shared the same ambition. They made a reckless decision to leave powerful Chu. They turned instead to Yue, then the poorest and most remote state of all. In 494 BCE, King Gujian of Yue rashly attacked Wu. He ignored Fanli's warning and pushed ahead alone. The result, Yue was crushed, and its army was wiped out. Gujian was trapped on Mount Kuaiji with nowhere left to go. Those around him saw only 2 choices, surrender or die fighting. But Fanli saw a third path. Everyone else thought this was the end. Fanli saw a discounted pledge, a wager that could still be won. Fanli told Gujian one thing: survive first. Dignity was not important, life was. He urged Gujian to submit completely to King Fuchai of Wu. Put down the pride of a king and become a slave to his enemy. Fanli went further. He accompanied Gujian to Wu as a hostage. The king fed horses. The advisor held the whip. For 3 years, they endured humiliation. Others saw unbearable disgrace. Fanli saw transaction. As long as Yue's people and Gujian's life remained, the base assets had not gone to zero. And when assets have not gone to zero, the option of a comeback remains. Dignity, power, even life itself. To him, all were chips that could be exchanged. What he wagered was never dignity. What he always wagered on was time. Back in Yue, Fanli activated a hidden algorithm. It came from a man named Jiran, later known as the strategy of Jiran. In plain terms, it was economics, prices, harvest cycles, and state reserves. At home, Yue encouraged births, stabilized prices, and quietly built up grain and wealth. Abroad, Yue bowed to Wu year after year, sending beauties, timber, and grain. On the surface, it looked like obedience. In reality, it was a silent economic bloodletting. In folk legend, the beauty Yue sent was Shi. But in official history, her ending is actually a mystery. King Fuchai of Wu was obsessed with hegemony and fought year after year. With every campaign, Wu's treasury grew emptier. Yue, meanwhile, spent 20 years quietly saving the capital for a counterattack. Why can a war without blades be deadlier than an army of 100,000? Because it makes the opponent rot from within while he still looks strongest. The 8 words were: in drought, by boats; in floods, by carts. During droughts, no one wanted boats. Fanli bought them anyway. During floods, no one wanted carts. Fanli bought those too. When everyone else was selling, he went the other way and bought aggressively. Because he understood one thing: cycles always return. What no one wants today may become tomorrow's most expensive necessity. He had another rule: keep goods complete and never let money sit idle. Goods had to stay in good condition and turn over quickly. Money must never lie asleep. It has to move into the next round at once. Others watched the spread. Fan Li watched the rhythm of heaven and human nature. Where fear is greatest, opportunity is greatest. In 473 BCE, Yue launched its counterattack, and Wu fell. Gujian became the last great hegemon of the spring and autumn period. Fan Li was without question the #1 contributor. Land and power were within reach, but he fled that very night. Before leaving, he wrote a letter to his close friend Wenzhang. One line in that letter became famous. When the birds are gone, the fine bow should be put away. When the cunning rabbits are dead, the hunting dogs are cooked. He said Gujian was a man you could share hardship with, but not wealth and glory. Wenrong did not believe him. He thought his service was too great and stayed for his reward. In the end, Gujian sent him a sword and ordered him to take his own life. By then, Fan Li had changed his name and built his first salt works on the coast of Qi. For the same achievement, one man walked toward death and one toward a new life. The difference came down to one word: leave. On the coast of Qi, Fan Li and his son reclaimed wasteland, made salt, and traded by sea. Within a few years, his fortune reached hundreds of thousands, and his name spread across the region. When the ruler of Qi heard of him, he sent the chancellor's seal to Fan Li's door and invited him to serve. And so Fan Li served as chancellor for 3 full years. Then, he did something no one could understand. He resigned. He called in his neighbors and gave away every coin he had earned, keeping nothing for himself. He offered only one explanation: holding fame and honor too long invites disaster. After giving away his wealth, he traveled light to a place called Tao. Tao stood at the crossroads of the realm, the finest logistics hub of its age. There he called himself Lord Zhu of Tao, buying low, selling high, and turning goods over quickly. Within a few years, he became the richest man in the realm for a 3rd time. 3 times he built a fortune to rival a state. 3 times he gave it all away. Before him, the rule of wealth was to hoard it, possess it, and pass it to one's heirs. Fan Li changed that rule. Money itself is not an asset. Money in motion is. Wealth is like water. In motion, it nourishes everything. Standing still, it turns poisonous. The rules of wealth he rewrote still hold today. There were 3. First, move against the cycle. Second, maintain high turnover. Third, cut your position at the top, and always preserve the freedom to leave. After Fan Li grew rich in Dao, his 2nd son committed a capital crime in Chu. Fan Li wanted to use money to bring his son home alive. He planned to send his youngest son to arrange the payment. But his eldest son refused, even threatening to kill himself. Fan Li relented and sent the eldest instead. That was the fatal mistake. The eldest had known hardship from childhood and valued money above all. After paying the money, he regretted it and secretly took it back. That reversal ruined everything. The 2nd son was executed. His body came home, and the whole family wept. Only Fan Li had foreseen the outcome from the beginning. He said it was not that the eldest did not love his brother. He had known hardship and could not let go of money. The youngest was born into wealth and would not hesitate to spend a fortune. He could have succeeded. Fan Li could calculate kings and cycles, yet no calculation could bring back his own son. Because wealth can pass to the next generation, understanding cannot. Fan Li's life reached its end when he was nearly 90 years old. In an age when average life expectancy was barely over 30, that alone was a miracle. Achievement, wealth, longevity, and a peaceful end. He attained them all. Power never captured him, and money never enslaved him. Throughout his life, he mastered one thing: understand the cycle, then leave intact. Only those who understand cycles can leave alive with their fortune still in hand. Fan Li chose withdrawal. By retreating, he escaped the reckoning of power. More than 2,000 years later, on the other side of the world, one man made the opposite choice. He did not avoid power. He wagered directly against an entire nation. In the two most dangerous financial crises, he alone rescued the nation's finances. He used money to bend the nation to his will. His name was J.P. Morgan. Next time on Wisdom from Business History, inside Wall Street's Iron Temple.